Welcome back. Today I have a quick video to share with two unrelated items. The first of which is Kelly Girardi, who is Mission Ops Lead at Palantir, was on NYSE Floor Talk. We've seen Palantir get featured on this before. I'll just play you the very quick clip that relates to Palantir and come back with another story after that.
All right, so tell me, how does Palantir fit into all this? Given your commitment to space, why Palantir?
People would be lucky to get to chase one major passion in life, and I get to chase two. For me, space has always been just the absolute best of humanity, this hope that we can survive our time so that the next generation can live in the future. But that future is not guaranteed. And the same way that I felt a calling to help open up access to space for the next generation, I also felt called to help contribute solutions to the most mission critical problems facing my own generation here on Earth. And that's why I joined Palantir 6 years ago. I wanted to help change the world, and I wanted to be a part of an organization that doesn't roll its eyes when someone says that out loud. And my work here has taken me all over the world, from boardrooms to disaster zones. Our software is deployed to the front lines of some of the world's hardest problems, and so are we. So I love having the opportunity to have real world impact. Sometimes my space work does dovetail a little bit, with Palantir, and that's always fun when I get to put on that hat or that helmet, I guess. But space is not the only thing I care about. There are a lot of solutions that I want to contribute to problems right here on Earth. And at the end of the day, the astronaut thing is just kind of a fun icebreaker at work. But the thing I try to explain to people about Palantir is that there are so many people here from such fascinating backgrounds and previous lives who bring this valuable and unique perspective to the work that we are tackling together as a company. So when I think about the people that I get to rub shoulders with every day, I am just humbled into the ground. And at the end of the day, that's what motivates me. I want to work on hard problems with some of the grittiest, most mission-driven, brilliant people on the planet. And I like that I get to wake up every day knowing that my daughter's future is safer and more stable, more secure, and more prosperous because my colleagues are involved. And so that's been the most motivating part. And it's been a hell of a ride, and I feel like we're just getting started.
All right, well, that was great to hear some more from someone else inside the company. Something else here, thanks to Chris Patel for tipping me off on this, is that we have Shyam Sankar. Basically, I went back in his LinkedIn and saw a few times he's made mention of this company, Hermeus. And they're basically working on this hypersonic transport vehicle, or basically travel system. It almost seems like kind of what Lilium's doing, but obviously like at a bigger scale, with Shyam not tweeting, sorry, this is LinkedIn, sort of sharing and reposting a job application sort of careers page for Hermeus and some other things that they've done in the past. It really makes me wonder, why would he be doing that if Palantir is not actively working with them in a partnership of some kind that hasn't been announced yet? Because Shyam seems to be strictly business in what I've seen from him, from his public accounts. Definitely speculation on this part, but again, thanks to Chris Patel for letting me know. We're gonna get into a little bit more on the company now, what they're doing, and why it is interesting that they would be working with Palantir. So I'll go ahead and play this quick video that sort of explains it better than I could in the short amount of time. And here is the CEO, AJ.
New York to London in 90 minutes. That's the hyper-ambitious goal from hypersonic startup Hermeus Corporation, a small but growing aerospace player developing a family of aircraft capable of flying at 5 times the speed of sound.
Being able to take a world as big as we have today and make it feel regional, it fundamentally changes the way that the world works, and it opens up massive, massive opportunities for both social and economic growth.
Hermeus now counts the U.S. military among its backers, thanks to a jointly funded $60 million contract. For the Air Force, it's an opportunity to help a new company test technology key to the service's future, a capability that could be used for unmanned reconnaissance or perhaps one day, fast transport of cargo and people over long distances. For Hermeus, founded by former SpaceX and Blue Origin alum, the 3-year partnership turbocharges a plan to fly passengers commercially as soon as the end of this decade.
You have to have interim products along the way that you're leveraging for tech development or risk reduction. You have to be able to turn those into products and solve problems for customers. And for us, that's a huge piece of this partnership that we're starting now with the Air Force.
Ultra-fast air travel, while perhaps the future, is also the past. After the famed Concorde retired nearly 2 decades ago, But this could be different. ARK Invest estimates this market could now grow to $270 billion annually.
We're seeing a lot of advancement. A lot of these companies are utilizing 3D printing for prototyping and even for end use parts, where they're able to do extremely complex components that are small volume.
So basically, this is Hermeus, not a very big company yet, but they do have a $60 million Air Force partnership, as mentioned in that video. Now, this is where sort of the synergies start to align for Hermeus to be working with, of course, Palantir. We've got the Air Force connection there, and also their R&D is going to need a lot of data and data analysis to interpret and accelerate development. We've seen this mentioned by Lilium specifically, if you remember that, how they're using Palantir. So I don't think it will be any different for Hermeus. So I wanted to share that. We're on the website here. Race You There is kind of a cool tagline. Anyway, it doesn't seem like they've gotten actually too far in the development of this. Definitely a neat idea, but it remains to be seen how feasible it truly is, and that's really going to come in the actual production and testing and proving all of this out. Quarter Horse is their first aircraft. They did a test of that, just the throttling it at the unveil right there that I watched. I did some digging. Basically, they're just working on testing and building a great team and putting a great team together. They've got SpaceX employees, Rocket Lab, Virgin Galactic. It's basically just another name that is trying to take advantage of this real technological jump to accelerate transportation. So just wanted to share that. Again, not entirely sure if there is actually a partnership here. I tried to look up and see if there were any mentions of the two companies, Hermeus and Palantir. Could not find one, but this would be an example of a day zero company using Palantir under the perhaps Foundry for Builders program, or maybe something else. I don't know how Palantir would go about doing it. And I did just want to say how, of course, we have Sham's companies that he follows on his LinkedIn, and this would be pretty interesting to see actually if he has managed to get a contract with Stripe here, because Stripe is one of the largest private companies in the world, one of the most successful companies too. So just wanted to mention that. Aside from that, there's not too much to be gleaned. Ginkgo Bioworks, he's working with them, not related to Palantir as far as we know, but Founders Fund, that's Thiel's thing. And then, yeah, Stripe is basically the big outlier here. I'm wondering, where did this come from? Is there a contract? That would be huge. But definitely interesting to see. Would not be surprised if there is something here, and thought I would just share this cool company with you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time.